Here with head football coach Steve Johnson. And Coach, we're 12-0, and we're at a special place, your third quarterfinal matchup in the last 6 years for Bethel. Talk about the endurance of your team so far and what they've shown you throughout the last 12 weeks to get to this point.
You know, the resiliency of these guys and the joy that they bring every day is kind of, you know, sometimes Coach Frazier gave a impassioned plea yesterday, and I feel like at the end of it the kids were saying, yeah, we're in this sucker, you know what I mean, and they never weren't, you know, and so it's really been a neat thing. You know, the football in itself makes you into a family, and our guys love each other, love being together, and you know, sometimes it's a tough deal, sometimes it's not. 12-0 helps chemistry, obviously, but I think we have it anyway. You know, we kind of talk about it all the time and try to live it, just being a bunch of guys that love the Lord, love football, love each other, and we'll play our guts out for each other.
Well, you talked about resiliency last week. You found yourself down 17-20 at one point. You get a blocked PAT attempt that brings it to 1, and you go on down to the next possession and you score 2 possessions in a row. What does that show about your team, and what was their mentality in that last quarter?
You know, you think back on the game, when you're in the midst of it, you don't really know what's happening. But Tommy Keefe came in for Eric Peterson, who is our all-world quarterback. Tommy is kind of his friend, mentor, help guy, and Tommy's a guy who stayed in the program, even though he's a great quarterback, but he's been behind some guys, and he just stayed. And one of our deals is run to the battle, stay in the battle, and finish. And Tommy has stayed, and he's a senior guy who Coach Novak, our basketball coach, says he walks by meetings and sees Tommy Keefe on the edge of his chair 4 years later, and that's staying. You know, staying isn't just hanging out. Staying is being in the battle, and Tommy's done a great job. Well, he comes in and goes 9 for 12, and his first play was, we hit a seam route right up the middle on 3rd and 12, got a first down, continued to drive, and we came back twice, I think, and won the game. Defense did a great job at the end to hold them out, and you know, they would have tied it, and so we would have gone to overtime, and I'm confident that we could win there. But Wartburg just played a tremendous game, and it was a seesaw battle, and they're just a familiar foe. But our guys stayed in it, and we finished it, and so now we get to go again.
So let's talk about this going again. You get another tough team, North Central, ranked according to several polls number 4 in the nation. But you're in the Elite 8, right? So you're the top 8 teams in the nation, so no team is easy at this point, and Wartburg wasn't by far either. Talk about what you see in North Central and what it's going to take to be successful in the final 3 quarterfinal game of the season.
Well, you know, I think, you know, North Central's got a great program. They've got great coaches. They've got great facilities. They've kind of got it all. They're in at CCIW, and they are an elite program in the country. You know, and we're just going to play the best they can. They've got some similarities to us. They're really explosive offensively, and they've got great defense. And well, it's the top 8 teams, you know, in the country, like you said, but. You know, everybody who makes the playoffs, it's a special deal, and to win 1 or 2 or 3, you're going, and that's. But our goal really is to go all the way, and if we can, we can. If we can't, we can't. But we're going to give our hearts away. We're going to give them away for free on Saturday, and it's going to be about 3 degrees, and we're shoveling snow as we speak, and but that's part of the adventure, and that's our guys look at it that way. So do we, and. We're in this thing together, and you know, the chips will fall where they may.
Well, this Saturday will be another different climate for the football fans and players on the Royal Stadium, but nonetheless, you get to host your 3rd playoff game, so let's go get another W.
Yeah, we've had a great time. Here we go. Let's go.